Yeah, we're back. We're back in disco. It's gonna be a short session because I gotta go soon. But see what we can do. See what progress we can make. Oh shoot, bit of lag there. Okay, let's see what we're doing. Open the door for apartment door for Everard. Manana. Ashwini. Got the photo. The race enigma. The authority that hires Hardy. Unreal. Yeah, okay, that's Wednesday. Ahmad. Made the call. Closes info, put the clothes, track any bags. Yeah, let's go to Manana and measure head basically. Stuff there? No. I wonder what that is. Oh, it's an apartment door. What's this? Oh shoot, I've never been in here. Oh.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, "Tokens unavailable due to strike. Use change." The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move.
There you must know dial a random number. Heard your name.
Your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code for Revachol. 4952, and a moment of hesitation before entering the final numbers. 993. Calling. Calling. Still calling. Then.
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy. How may I help you?
The voice of a youngster on the other end sounds as enthusiastic as that of a man walking towards the gallows.
Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental.
What is this place?
We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy.
No, I meant what is this place to me? Do you know me?
Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental.
What is this place?
Maybe you rent videos here. No. Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period?
My name is Raphael Burgess Costo. Do you have anything on my name? My name is Henry Dubois.
Let me fire up the machine.
Hang on.
Dubois. Dubois. Here we are. You haven't rented anything in 5 years, but you still have a copy of Blue Ocean Hell from November '46. Whoa, not a fun film, that one. It's not an easy watch.
Okay, thanks.
After the death of his daughter and subsequent divorce, Ziemsk immigrant Egidius Wojcik tries to come to terms with the onset of dementia. No wonder no one's been missing it. Still, it would be great if you could return it to us. We're on the corner of Voyager and Main.
On the corner of Voyager and Main, a large neon sign hangs on the side of a building. Video Revachol, 24 hours. It's raining and there is almost no traffic on the street. A woman's footprints in the mud lead away from the front door. Tiny heels tiptoeing down the road. Beautiful steps, light-footed with a lifetime ahead of them. You look up and the air seems to grow darker. The call is terminated by the other party. You're left with the discomforting sound of the disconnect tone.
Radio is emitting strange buzzing sounds. Giant aspirin on the pillow and a pan of coffee numbers. What is this place? This is someone's every working equals member of the board is written on top of the flyers. And at the bottom, the union logo and demand democracy. The break room, or is this someone's home? This is a Dewey typewriter. The model name is on the back. But why is this on? You know what I mean? Book Lafumé. Sorry if I butchered that. Volume 1, number 4. Screen Inspector. Someone left the coffee machine. Then it offers
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
It's unfortunate for the union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders. Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara, and the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
Evolution. Force yourself to go through the folders. Just go. Oh, dude.
The drawer
I don't have
slides
to
shut
kill me.
smoothly.
Let's close that for now. Okay, we might come back. Some boost. Push car, the Jardine 20. Maybe there's magnesium in here. Nice. Drip. +1 visual calculus, -1 drama. So what do I have now? Like, logic. That's one. I thought it was trash. Drama would be nice to me. I look sick. The intellectual organ of modern age communism. The radical Mesovium on the range of contributions features the stylized portrait of the late king. The it's got the
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover. Because Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see. To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white. No advertisements, you notice. So who's funding this radical commentary? After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections. International developments, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note.
Reading the editor's note, I wanted to catch up. Oh yeah, it's true, because we got here by jumping over that fence, but I don't think there was an option to climb up again, so we have to get out this way. Okay. Read the editor's note. I wanted to do a catch up on the international developments. What is... I even say that. Let's see what they mean.
Comrade, local. As you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turned to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers. Only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership. Perhaps they've overestimated the market demand for this kind of commentary. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
Yours in... Oh, sorry. Whisper Kim, I think this is Communist Magazine.
What do you expect?
What?
It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd. Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure where most of these countries are. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture. Why they decided to title this one section in Volda is beyond you. Obviously, because it's cool to drop random phrases in foreign languages. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective. The Tip Top Tournée is an inter-Isolari racing series, mostly known for its high speeds, ludicrous sponsorship deals, and high death toll. In Revachol, it's held quadrennially on the prestigious Zero Carousel racing circuit.
Be the profile CS. All right, let's see.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer. You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tournée. Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes. So, all of it, basically.
Hang on, who wrote this stuff? What's so bad about
Oddly enough, this article has two bylines: Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka. There's no way those are real names. Have you ever met anyone named Exilus? Come on, they're plainly pseudonyms. More than that, they're likely anagrams. Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity. Thus, the so-called tournée becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a fritter. And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
Destruction of these, No, I'm pretty sure I like it for the racing. Well, you're
sure,
right,
you think that, but subconsciously, it's the visions of brand names being engulfed in flames that you crave. That's because you haven't been reading critically. But don't worry. The whole point of these sorts of articles is to let someone else read critically for you.
Interesting.
Come on.
Says that no one really
Can this article read your mind? A certain kind of young man reads one or two books and suddenly thinks he understands the secret structures of reality.
Yeah, you gotta be...
If I had to wager,
more.
I'd say they've
sources.
never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I'd take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbour red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Cape Side apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Okay, damn communists. So this could give you some info of what's happening around the place. Damn communists who killed a lot of them when they had the chance. If it weren't for the wild pine dollars, moochers would be out of a job. Charging rent just to live somewhere is pretty outrageous. Charging rent just to live... Chill out, bro. Chill out. Of course they gotta pay to stay there. Wouldn't it be better for everyone if labor and capital could reach some reasonable accommodation? Why should I care? The political worldviews. I straight up hate communists. This one, they should be happy. Or wild pines capitalism. This one's a...
According to these editorials, there can be no accommodation with the forces of international capital or their mucilaginous allies in the coalition.
Mucilaginous allies in the coalition. Damn, I'm actually going to, for the first time ever, Google a word. Game, but I'm a gamer. Mucilaginous, having a viscous or gelatinous consistence of plant seed containing a polysaccharide substance that is extracted as a viscous or gelatinous solution and is used in medicine and adhesives. It has a viscous or gelatinous consistency.
Judging from the context, it's something very large and fundamental. You should probably know about it already. Honest, you flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez.
You must be mistaken, I'm a real radical. Me, Mr. Reasonable, someone's got to keep it. Yeah. This is because I keep saying none of the above.
The air suddenly feels calmer.
I'm reasonable, mate.
More transparent in a strangely tender way. Perhaps it's the hangover. Perhaps it's a temporary surge of serotonin. But something tells you it's time to become a citizen of the kingdom of conscience.
One of the thoughts. First, where's the kingdom of conscience? Then we'll talk, sign me up for a passport. No, I'm too fiery for this watercolor ideology. I'm trying to develop more extreme interest.
It is not a place.
Am I offensive
it is
or
a
radical?
moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been achieved a handful of times.
They bring about these circumstances. That's all not jihad.
Incrementally. History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place. Too quickly. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually, increment by increment.
Interesting. So it's like being progressive, but not being so progressive like rapidly, kind of slowly progressing. Interesting. What about all the things that are wrong now? Okay, but what's the
tisk tisk? Just because you live in the present doesn't mean you have the right to place your needs above the needs of the future. You may never live to see the kingdom of conscience. Your children may not. Even your grandchildren might not. But that's no excuse not to keep working. What rationality? What sang-froid?
Wait, is it the kingdom of conscious windings or just living this? Okay, but what conscious action? What's sang-froid? Let me search. Sang-froid. Exposure or corner shown in danger under trying circumstances. What sang-froid? What rationality? Wait.
Do you believe the status quo is preferable to chaos and bloodshed?
Or chaos and bloodshed. Status quo. Damn. It
There you
depends
have
on what
it.
is the status quo.
Sometimes holding the line
yes.
is progress.
Okay,
the kingdom is difficult
actually
to
like?
comprehend, and even more difficult to describe, partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The kingdom of conscience is post-capitalist, post-national. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual.
Sounds incredible. On Z, let's go there. I know, sorry, I don't know what that is. Search it up. Elon. It is a French word. Let's go. Seems fine. I want to live for the present though. That sounds kind of terrible. I don't think I want to be. Well, I just want the option. I guess if you opt out, maybe there's an option.
Slow down,
opt in
Mr.
for
Reasonable.
another thought. I just want.
Did you miss the part about compromising and taking things slow? That's right. Remember,
Alright, then let's get there,
real
actually.
democracy
Yeah, I
is
want their
just
thoughts.
around the corner for Revachol. When that real democracy kicks in, a long time from now, we are all going to be so much happier.
Okay, I wonder what that benefits I'm gonna get though. Heartache is powerful, but democracy is subtle, and completely you begin to notice a change in the weather. When it snows, the flakes are soft. When they stick to your worry-worn forehead, when it rains, the rain is warmer. Democracy is coming to the administrative region. The ideals of Doloria human is gaining themselves. How can they not? These are the ideas of the coalition, the national as a super blue, and they're not only good, they're also powerful. Like once plans have been realized. Half-life. I don't have this. Ultra liberal dialogue option +1 real. Dude, is that even good? I might actually dip that button.
The file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the unlocked drawer. Look how blurry all the lines on these papers are. How unwieldy your own willpower is to yourself. You're like an absurdist Samaran monk, focusing through not focusing. Hermeneutics was almost within your grasp, but now only vague letters float before your eyes. Less meaningful, but aesthetically more pleasing.
Hermeneutics. Hermeneutics. Wiki. Theory and methodology of interpretation, especially the interpretation of biblical texts, wisdom, literature, and philosophical. I let my eyes go completely out of focus, all shapes start.
You're a police officer, not a spiritual healer. You can focus the normal way by turning your attention to something and not letting go.
Is that what you're doing with those photos over there? Right. This is probably not relevant to our case. After all, we're not investigating an accounting mystery.
Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer.
Oh, what's going on with me and Kim?
It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled.
One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes. All items on the list. The drawer slides shut smoothly.
I know what's... meat stock and vegetable, but a sour soup. Oh. Okay, let's get the key for Manyan. Oh, is that his name? I'm sorry if I butchered that. Mananya. The measurehead.
So, how'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there.
Lily with his hazy
Talked
eyes.
to the boss man too, probably.
It's but a rest
Maybe
area
Toby
on the
not
path
agreeable.
leading across
Yeah, it was
open
nice enough.
plains.
He nods solemnly,
Right.
solemnly
You talk to the
and
boss,
turns to you a
eye to
wide
eye,
smile adorning his face.
like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk. A key, huh?
Everyone says you have a key to a door.
What door is this key supposed to open?
He said it belonged to a weasel. I was hoping you could tell me. I don't know.
Oh,
Some
say no
whistleblowers, I
more.
think.
I got
Said it
you.
belonged to a weasel.
I got that key right
That's
here.
the side of his nose.
And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say.
An opportunity I took it. I'm a hustle grinder. I heard something about a weasel and it didn't sound like a local polar weasel. You know what I mean? I'm not opening this door myself. I'm opening it for all
Oh,
working
so the
men.
none
I'm
of
not
the
really
above
doing this
type,
for
are you?
political reasons.
I get it. I like to keep my distance too. But it doesn't matter. It's a good thing you're doing. Thanks. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the wailing in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in.
His
This
gaze wanders off
jiving
into
and
the
juggling.
distance.
What's it for? To feed our children, I guess.
Anything else I should know
I'm more
about
of a
besides the weasel
philosophical
person when he'll be
worker.
home?
I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
He means he's not going to tell you
Man takes a
because
big
he
sip from his
doesn't
glass.
know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working for Everard.
Los
Actually, do you know
Ardis?
anything about the Hardy Boys?
They're an independent
Okay.
militant group. A bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you. We're negotiating our share.
Why are you
Right.
striking? A share? He's pleased with himself. Wait, so not wages or pensions or how large a share would you like? Oh, okay.
This stuff.
Economy stuff. I get it. I want to talk
They
about
already
something else.
covered.
So not wages? Okay, shouldn't you be grateful then? It's a lot more than most people here have. Because you got the benefit of that something.
Never
how much,
grateful.
However much you
Were
feed
we
the
ever
wolf,
grateful,
you'd be
we'd have
grateful.
nothing. You fight for every piece.
How large
All of it.
share would you like?
However,
Okay.
right now we want all the harbor workers to
Whoa.
be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process.
This
I don't know if that's
seditious
gonna work,
talk
bro.
sounds
How many
like
of you are there?
communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people or deporting them to a labor camp in southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist.
Yeah, but then the people become rich themselves. That what happens? There's seditious. What is seditious? Starting on causing people to rail against the authority of a state or monarch. Yeah, okay. Are you a communist? Your boss man?
No.
Right, what can you tell me about him? Got the picture.
I don't
That's
think
what's
I'm a
about. Are you
communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all to myself is a much older and simpler notion. No science to it at all. Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't.
Right on, brother. You should take what's not yours. You shouldn't take what's not yours. Cool. I don't have anything to add to that. That makes sense. You shouldn't take what's not yours. But I guess they think it's.
Then how can
theirs,
anything
right?
ever be mine? But that's okay. We don't have to agree. The prairie is wide enough for all of us. I think it's best you make up your own mind
Bossman
now that
Everett,
you've
what
met
can you
him.
tell me about him?
In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman. I guess you
you're
kind of
right,
get to be the village
what
chief.
is boss in the union entail
He
anyway?
oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners or other relevant parties. Watches out for his own.
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? And in this world, the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish.
Interesting. So, like, if the corruption benefits you, you turn a blind eye. It does seem lavish to me.
He
Right,
is
he's very
reasonably
aesthetic.
lavish, sure.
It's
That's his
aesthetic.
prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. That would be a manipulative illusion. Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway. And moralism is the most corrupt of them all.
This man has political theory, and it has not failed him today.
You seem to have spent a lot of time thinking about the political situation.
Sure, I've had the necessary free
Conviction that
time.
answers something else.
Fortunately, there's always time.
The look in his
Says his
brown
arms wide,
eyes
using the
conjures
reach
up
to
an
a bunch of time
understanding. For him, having command of his time is the most important thing. It all comes together
okay.
now. The way he speaks about scabs, his general attitude. He's a follower of a 500-year-old Franco-Nigerian Boyadero code, itself an appropriation of Vespertine cool, that of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself, independent in your actions, loyal to your friends.
Maybe I am a boyadero. It doesn't sound that cool. Sounds quite obsolete. Say... Did I say it? Sorry. Not disco. Yeah, I am a... I'm a noble peasant or traveling herdsman. True to yourself, independent in your actions, loyal to your friends. Okay, maybe I am. I could, but what if maybe unless...
The man sits on the railing, his hands reaching far and wide. Yet it feels as if he could, effortlessly, go even wider, if need be. An endless torrent of time.
The mercenary, eh?
Any idea
Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing?
He said solemnly. The Merc was hanging with a very specific type of cargo belt, one often used in heavy transport areas, for example, harbors. Harbor's a prime area of suspicion. You have
What
to
a
know the
thought.
works involved in killing that's changed.
Why would
target.
noble workers
Yes.
resort to such a thing? Unless they were pushed, of course. Your dead guy was an enemy combatant.
How?
He was an agent of the opposition,
Hold up, what does that mean?
attempting to undermine our honorable efforts. I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me.
Did you just kill him?
Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men, with all sorts of skills.
He's not lying about not doing it himself.
Understood. This has been of limited use. Still, thank you.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search.
He's just sipping from his flask. You have a key of the doors behind the greenhouse in the yard and basement door. Damn. Okay, I'm gonna pause right here, guys.